Hey everyone! Welcome back to Cozy English Conversation. Today I have a beautiful story for you. A medieval tale of a kind prince and a young woman who was once a slave. It's about love that grows quietly and the courage to follow your heart. In a small kingdom surrounded by green hills and ancient forests, there lived a young prince named Edward. He was not like the other princes people told stories about. He was kind, gentle, and always thought of others before himself. One spring day, while traveling through the market in a nearby town, he saw something that broke his heart. A young woman named Isabella was being sold as a slave. She was only 19, with long dark hair and quiet eyes. Her parents had died, and she had no one to protect her. Edward could not bear to see her in chains. Without thinking twice, he used his own money to buy her freedom. He did not want her to be a slave anymore. He wanted her to be free. Isabella was brought to the castle. At first she was afraid. She had heard stories about cruel lords and cold castles. But Prince Edward was different. He gave her a small room with a soft bed and warm blankets. He told her, "You are no longer a slave here. You are free to leave whenever you want. But if you stay, I will make sure you are safe and treated with respect." Isabella decided to stay. She had nowhere else to go, and deep down, she felt something kind in the prince's eyes. She began to work in the castle, not as a slave, but as a helper. She cleaned the rooms, prepared tea, and sometimes read books aloud to the prince when he was tired from his duties. She did everything with care and a gentle smile. The prince noticed how kind she was. She never complained. She always thanked him, even for small things. Slowly, Edward began to fall in love with her, not only because she was beautiful, but because her heart was beautiful too. One evening, as the sun set behind the castle towers, Edward found her in the garden. Flowers were blooming all around them. He took a deep breath and said, "Isabella, I need to tell you something. I have fallen in love with you. You are the kindest person I have ever met. I want to be with you, not as your master, but as your equal." Isabella's eyes filled with tears. She looked down at the ground. She said softly, "My lord, you are very kind, but I cannot accept your love." The prince was surprised. He asked, "Why? Is there someone else?" She shook her head. "No, it is because I was once a slave. Even though you freed me, people will always see me as a servant. I do not want to bring shame to you or your family. You deserve someone of your own rank." Edward tried many times after that. He brought her flowers. He asked her to walk with him in the forest. He told her how much she meant to him. But every time, Isabella refused gently. She said the same thing, "I am not worthy of a prince." Each refusal broke Edward's heart a little more. He tried to hide his sadness, but it showed in his eyes. One late night, Edward sat alone in his chamber. His best friend and trusted knight, Sir Henry, came to see him. Henry noticed the prince looked tired and sad. He asked, "Edward, what is wrong? You have been quiet these past weeks. You look like your heart is heavy." Edward sighed. He looked at the fire in the fireplace. He said quietly, "It is Isabella. She has hurt me." Sir Henry's face turned angry. He stood up. "How dare she hurt you? She's only a servant. Tell me what she did, and I will make sure she regrets it." Edward shook his head slowly. "No, Henry, she did not do anything wrong. She hurt me because she loves me." Henry froze. He looked confused. Edward continued, "Every time I tell her how I feel, she refuses me. Not because she does not care, but because she loves me too much. She thinks she is not good enough for me. She thinks she will ruin my life. That is why she keeps saying no, and that breaks my heart more than anything." Sir Henry sat down again. He was silent for a long time. Then he smiled a little. He said, "Then she is a fool, Edward. And you are the luckiest man alive. Because a woman who loves you so much that she would rather suffer than hurt you, that is the kind of love most people only dream about." Edward looked at his friend. For the first time in weeks, he smiled. He said, "You are right. Maybe I just need to show her that she is more than enough. Not as a servant, but as the woman I love." The next morning, Edward went to find Isabella. He took her to the garden where they had first spoken of love. He said, "Isabella, I understand now. You were protecting me, but I do not need protection. I need you. Not as a servant, not as a slave. I need you as my equal, my partner, my wife." Isabella's eyes filled with tears again, but this time they were happy tears. She whispered, "My prince, I have loved you since the first day you set me free." Edward took her hand. He smiled. "Then marry me. Let us build a life together." And so, in the small kingdom, surrounded by green hills, a prince and a woman who was once a slave were married. Not as master and servant, but as two people who loved each other deeply. And they lived happily, not in a perfect fairy tale, but in a real, kind, and beautiful one. That's the story. It's a reminder that true love isn't about titles or status. It's about seeing someone's heart and loving it completely. Sometimes the person who seems not enough is exactly what we need. What about you? Have you ever loved someone so much that you were afraid to be with them? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your stories. If you enjoyed this, please give it a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next cozy chat. Take care of yourselves, and remember, love always finds a way. See you soon, and stay cozy.